Hello, this is Yogeshwar 7000 again, and I'm back with my series on stories from the Puranas, which is creation 2. So people who've not watched my earlier video on creation, please refer to that. And I do make videos on Jyotish or Vedic astrology, but at the same time I keep on adding videos which are from the ancient scriptures, either from the Puranas or the Upanishads or from the Vedas, so that we are all aware as to what the ancient scriptures say other than Vedic astrology. Of course, Vedic astrology is a very important Vedanga or an arm of Vedas, but the original scriptures, Puranas, say a lot about our heritage, our Hindu heritage especially, and especially for the benefit of the West. I keep adding these spiritual videos as well. So today we'll be continuing our discussion on creation. In our last video we did discuss about how there was water everywhere, and Brahma and Vishnu were created. Well, Brahma was created out of Vishnu, and then Shiva appeared and he mentioned to Vishnu and Brahma that they are all three are part of one entity whose purpose is creation, preservation, and destruction. So now the forthcoming purpose for them should be creation of the universe. So this is in continuation to that, and since the purpose was now creation, Vishnu created a huge egg in the water, and he himself entered the egg in a huge form. And in the meanwhile, Lord Brahma started to pray, and from the powers of his meditation he created several rishis or sages, and those sages were known as Kardama, Daksha, and Marichi. And sage Marichi's son was sage Kashyap. So as we all know, especially from people from the east would know that there is a gotra, and one of the gotra or a clan is Kashyap Gotra, and they can refer to their roots going back to sage Kashyapa in case they are Kashyapa Gotra or sage Kashyap's family, so as to say, and this is where it's coming from. So Marichi's son was sage Kashyapa, and out of the several sages which Lord Brahma created, Daksha was one of them, and he had 60 daughters, and 13 daughters out of those 60 daughters were married to sage Kashyap. And the children of Kashyapa and these daughters became Adityas or gods, Daityas or demons. So Sanskrit name of demons is Daityas. And again, Danavas, another classification of demons, were also created. And then trees were created, birds were created, snakes were created, mountains were created, and creepers, and thus the world populated. So people from the east, whenever they say that they do not know their gotra, it's very conveniently said that they are from Kashyapa Gotra or the family of sage Kashyap. Why? Because it's Kashyap who was the originator of all the world population, which consists of gods, humans, demons, trees, birds, snakes, mountains. So this is the reference which is coming directly from the Puranas. And as Lord Shiva had mentioned in my earlier video, it was discussed that another being would be named Rudra, who would be none other than Shiva himself. So he was born as well from Brahma. So the originator of Rudra is from Brahma. Rudra appeared from Brahma, not Shiva. So there's a slight distinction here we have to remember. And Rudra lived on Mount Kailasha. So there's no distinction between Rudra and Shiva. They're one and the same thing. It's a form of Shiva. But then the distinction is that Shiva appeared in the form of the linga, as you would have seen in my earlier video. And here Rudra, which is none other than Shiva, actually was born from Brahma. So there's a slight distinction here between Rudra and Shiva, although they are one and the same thing. And Rudra lived on Mount Kailasha. And one of Daksha's daughter, out of the 60 daughters, one of the daughters, who was named Sati, was married to Rudra. So a lot of people sometimes have this distinction that Sati was born to Shiva. Of course, Rudra is another form of Shiva, but technically speaking, it was Rudra who was married to Sati, Daksha's daughter. And Rudra did live on Mount Kailasha, and Rudra was created by Brahma. So he was not already there in the form of a linga, as we've discussed in our earlier video. But the father-in-law and son-in-law did not like each other, meaning which sage Daksha and Rudra did not like each other. And Daksha arranged a fire sacrifice. However, he did not invite Rudra to attend the sacrifice. And although Sati was not invited, she went to attend the ceremony, in spite of the fact that Rudra had warned her not to go and attend that ceremony. However, when she went there, she got insulted, seeing that everybody else was invited and Rudra was not invited. Lord Rudra was not invited, and she committed suicide. She actually jumped into that same fire, that sacrificial fire, or the ceremonial fire which was there. And this was in protest of being insulted and not having sage Daksha inviting Rudra to attend the ceremony, although all the other gods and kings and everybody's sages were invited. And then this angered Rudra so much that he sent his companions to destroy the sacrifice, disrupt the ceremony, and have a major fight. And one of his companion was Veerabhadra, and that's another story. We can get into that, how Veerabhadra was created out of Rudra, and he sent to destroy the sacrifice and kill who opposed him, so as to say. And this was done, and then Rudra eventually killed Daksha, but then he brought Daksha back to life, placed a goat's head on Daksha and gave him life again. And anyways, the sacrifice was completed, and Sati was reborn as the daughter of the mountain Himalaya and his wife Menaka. So Himalaya and his wife Menaka had a child rather, and she was named as Parvati. And it was none other than Sati who had actually committed suicide by jumping into that fire, that sacrificial fire which Daksha had created, whom she had jumped into that fire in protest of insulting her and not inviting her husband. So this is the story that this is the story of how Parvati was born, and this is not just a fictional story. This is coming directly from the Puranas, so we have to have firm faith and believe in it. And then again, when Parvati was born, she was married again to Rudra, or in other words, you can even say Shiva. So this was a little continuation of my series on the stories from the Puranas on creation, and we'll be discussing more on the Puranas in our forthcoming videos. In the meanwhile, stay tuned. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. In the meanwhile, I will recommend subscribe to my channel, check out my website. There is a link below, and I'll see you with an interesting topic very soon. It could be from Jyotish, it could be from spiritual stories, it could be from the Puranas, the Vedas, whatever seems interesting will keep coming. Keep watching. Good luck.